Hello everyone, this is Triple T and today I'm taking a look at Earthrise Lynx. The War for Cybertron trilogy was one of my favorites, so I'm really happy about this one. But first, let's look at the packaging. This is our official Takara Tomy product, of course. Gorgeous artwork. You have some transformational pictures, a lot of Chinese things I don't speak. Unfortunately, I would like to. And he is Commander class. I know he's not a masterpiece, but to me he should be classed as a masterpiece because he's that good. I'm going to explain why I think so later on. Here you have Lynx in all his glory, and he looks good. Really good. Nice detailing. Magnificence. NASA. And I've put some effects that come with him on his rockets. So he can just go boom, like that if he wants to. He doesn't really have any articulation in this mode, unfortunately. More than that you can open up these sections, but that's more for base mode, and I will show that off in a little while. Unfortunately, these wings don't really tab on. They have tabs here, but they don't go into the wings, so they tend to be kind of floppy. But if you don't touch them, they will stay in place. So, as most of you know, this is a two-part robot, a combiner of sort. This will be a pterodactyl, and this cargo bay will be a lion of sorts. But first of all, we're going to take a look at base mode. And why they included a base mode is beyond me, because it doesn't really serve a purpose. It's too small for any bots to fit in. But we'll show it off anyway. But before transformation, I will just conclude that he looks good and he's sturdy. Hasbro-y sturdy. I start by removing these. These are just effect parts. It comes with these as well, but these are more for combine mode, and I will show you that later on. Two side pieces that you can plug in here if you want to. But in this mode, it looks best without them, I think. They're kind of big. So, to get him transformed into anything, you need to first remove the space shuttle. And you do that by pressing this button. And you take that off. So now you have a separate space shuttle and a cargo bay. We'll start to transform the cargo bay, as this is the main piece for the base mode. You put him upside down like this. You fold his feet backwards, his front legs backwards. You separate him like this, split him up. You pull these little panels down as they are ramps of sorts. You have a ramp in here you need to bring out and fold like that. This is a ramp you need to flip up, and this goes out. Now we put him down, I think. Flip his legs up. His foot rotates to the front. these tail pieces, comes out. And now he's starting to look like a base. Okay, now we bring in these pieces. This is going right in here, and this is going right in here like this. For some reason they want you to do it differently. And now we bring in the shuttle. These ports go on pegs here. But before you do that, you need to open this little section up and put him on those tabs. And they're quite difficult to get in place. But there you have him in his base mode. It's okay, but not even a little tiny target master looks like he can fit in that base. So I don't really know what it's for. But it looks okay. It's not ugly. It looks like a space launch of some sort. All of these tabs can be attached to other transformers from the Earthrise series. I only have this one though, so I can't show that off. But let's get him transformed to his individual animal modes. You take this off. You put him to the side for now. You fold this piece in, fold these wraps up, you close him up, like that. Turn his feet forward, push this down, turn his legs down and his feet forward. And now we're almost done. Widen his shoulders like that. Bring this panel down, rotate the head, and close this panel back up. And there you have Lynx's tiger form. And he looks good. You have a lot of rotation here. You can turn his legs 360. You have a knee or elbow swivel. The feet can come up and down on very stiff ratchets. And he can, of course, tilt. And the movement is the same for all 4 legs. The head can move side to side and up and down. You can open his mouth and reveal a laser. Like that. And of course you can go a bit up and down with the neck as well. You see a bit more of his back here than you did before. It's a lot of gunmetal gray and looks good. Some treads for base mode. Let's bring in the shuttle. As I said before, these don't really tab in, unfortunately. So I usually just fold them forward. So they stick there, like that. Then go back to the engines, pull them to the side, and extend the tail. And close the rockets back on. Pull the feet down. And toes to the sides, like that, and you do the same thing on the other side. Like that. Pull the tail up. You go to the wings and you fold the blue out and angle that down. Fold the blue out on this side, angle that down. And now for the piece de résistance. Pull out his head. And there you have the Lynx face. Like that. Getting him to stand is a chore of his own. You can. Oh, actually I succeeded. You can get him to stand, as you see, but it's quite hard, usually. Not now, for some reason. And I'm thankful for that. And he doesn't look as good as the cargo bay. He looks a bit, I don't know, spindly. His legs are just too small. The tail is a bit short and the head is just huge. But for articulation, you can of course move the head around. You can open and close his mouth, revealing a cannon. And here you can put this on, so he can be shooting fire from his mouth, as he obviously is dying. The neck isn't so much side to side. You have one click in each direction, but you can rotate the head a bit. You can arch the neck that much, or put it straight like that. Have him looking down on everyone beneath him. The wings can of course be directed in different ways, like that. And these are on separate hinges. You can fold them in or out, or move these about. The feet or the legs are on a really tight ratchet. They have a thigh swivel. You can bend the knee quite much in both directions. The foot can do a pivot, and it can go up and down on an even harder ratchet. They are so stiff, these ratchets. The toes can go down and up on both sides, like that. And the tail has a lot of joints. This one tends to pop off for me, but still, it works. Like that. Okay, let's get him standing again, if I'm able. No. Now he doesn't want to stand. Okay, he stands fairly well. Okay, nobody move! Let's bring in the lion as well. And here you have Lynx as his animal alt modes. And they look good. They look good together. I always like the combined mode best. Remember him from Call of the Primitives, I think the episode was called, when every primitive or monster or animal was summoned and he took charge. That was a really cool episode. I also like the voice for Lynx that they had in the cartoon. Unfortunately, I am not able to mimic that voice, or maybe that's just as good. But let's get down to combining these two beauties, shall we? Straighten out the legs. Fold the toesies down, like that. And bend the leg a bit, because that will make things easier for you. You put the toes inside and you straighten out the leg. Close the toes up, turn the foot backwards, bend the knee a bit to make things easier, and then put them back in here. Now this section is ready to be combined, but I'm gonna put that off to the side for now and bring back the lion. It's not much you have to do here. You have to fold down the tail parts and fold down the lion head like that. And now comes the tricky part. Back here you have a little slot, and here you have a little hinge, and these two are going to hold shuttle part on. It's a bit fiddly, but I'm usually... there it is. There it is, and there is Lynx in his combine mode. Let's give him some fire effects, shall we? Don't put these in the jets, because then it looks like he had tacos for dinner. The articulation for him is the same as before, though you can now plug these in on each side to make him a bit beefier, like that. And that looks good, I think. Be quiet. So, for comparison, I need to raise up the camera a bit, because I'm going to bring in his, well, sort of nemesis. If I can make him stand. I think I will. I think he will stand. And of course, this is Predator King. And as you can see, Lynx is a fair bit smaller, but he is airborne, so maybe it's easier to attack Predator King than I might think. But they look good together. I can just hear them fighting, gabbing back and forth. With Lynx's intellect and Predator King's, let's just say, stupidity. But let's bring the camera down so you actually see the difference between them. Let's bring Predator King out of here, and I hope I can make him stand off camera as well. So my final thoughts about Earthrise Lynx. He is really good, but he has a bit too much detail on him, I would say. And I would like for these wings to actually tab on. But otherwise, he's a great rendition of the character from the G1 series. Really good. And he looks like he did in Earthrise as well. A series I hope they bring back, the trilogy I mean, because it's one of my favorites. I like that the head has a lot of personality, even though it's just the front of a space shuttle. You can actually see him emoting, even if you don't do much with his head. That's kind of fun. The same goes for the lion head, of course, but not to the same degree. I would have liked the tail to be a bit longer, so I can move it around a bit. But otherwise, I'm really happy I got this. He looks great, and he has a given place on my masterpiece shelf. I know that Ocular Max did a version of him, a couple of years back, I think. I haven't been able to get my hands on him, but he looks kind of strange, so I don't know if I would if I could. I'm happy with this one, and he is going to stay on my shelf, I think. Well, that's it for today. Thank you for watching, and as always, take care.